Hello.
There we go. Now we sound like we've been doing this longer than a week.
Yeah. Welcome to A Muggle's Perspective. If you haven't noticed yet, it's pretty much a show where Braden mocks my podcast hosting skills. Sort of the premise of the show. All right. In case you're new here, it's kind of what we're all about.
Welcome, newcomer.
I'm Rogge. This is Braden. He knows everything about podcasts. He's like always done them. Grew up doing them as a little kid. And I am just like, what? Is that where you listen? Is there Bill Simmons or Joe Rogan? I don't know. And so he's like teaching me about it.
Yep. Grew up in the family business. My pops did podcasting. My grandpops did podcasting. We called him Grandpod.
Yeah, the Grandpodder.
Yeah. So just, family biz. Raised up in it, and here we are today. Me just coaching Rogge through this resemblance of a podcast.
Yeah. And fortunately, we're just I'm paying Braden to do this, to teach me, so no one's going to hear it, which is...
And let me tell you, folks, not enough. Not enough.
Don't quit your day job, kids. This week, we're going to be talking about Harry Potter podcasts. It's a section of the podcasting industry.
I read Chronicles of Narnia this week.
Ooh, yikes. Which chapters?
You didn't tell me. All of them.
That's impressive.
I did actually read The Magician's Nephew and the Chronicles of Narnia. Or The Magician's Nephew and The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. Just, kind of read all of them. All the pages,
My favorite were the Chronicles, but Narnia was good too.
Which was your favorite Chronicle?
Oh, that's like the scene in The Office where Jim is doing like an Irish accent about Angela's ashes. They're like, Jim, what was your favorite part? He's like, oh, Angela and the ashes.
Yes. No, I did recently use my free Audible trial to get the entire box set of the Chronicles of Narnia. It's like 34 hours of content.
Read by Jim Dale.
Somebody like that. It was probably Jim Dale.
Jim Dale or GTFO, honestly. If it's not Jim Dale, it's not my problem.
Yeah, I agree. And the other book I got was actually this book, Deathly Hallows.
Like, ugh, I'm so tired of reading.
It has helped a ton.
You got the Jim Dale version, right?
I got the Jim Dale version, yeah.
Good. And we can still
I saw all the other versions, and I just said GTFO.
I thought it was going to be tough for the episode title tonight to not be Save It for the Biscuit, but Jim Dale or GTFO is coming in hot.
It's all coming organically, as they say in the podcast business.
They say that all the time. Coming organically is just one of the most commonly used phrases that you'll hear among podcasters, professional and amateur alike.
Yeah.
I did my homework this week, Braden. I read
Good.
the podcasting book. We did chapters 9 through 11 of this podcasting textbook. So if you're following along with us, it's called Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows. I'm going to ask you some questions. Is that okay? Is that how we should do it? Is that a good format? Teach me. Should I ask you questions or?
Yeah, I think we could start there. See what comes of it organically.
So should the questions just be like really broad? Like, what did you think of these chapters? Is that good or?
Yeah. No, I think you're on the right track. Just generally ask me okay, Braden, thoughts. That goes well.
With an implied question mark at the end.
Yeah. So, thoughts?
I'm sorry. I wrote down some, more specific questions. I hope that's okay.
Well, we're here now, so what are we going to do?
We'll just have to jump into it. Content is content. So my first question here, we're reading chapter 9, A Place to Hide. Upon arriving in the middle of a Muggle street, how worried are you immediately? Take me back.
We were left at a wedding that was being crashed by Death Eaters.
That's correct.
And so that has you pretty worried.
Mm-hmm.
Especially because I believe there was a Patronus from Kingsley Shacklebolt saying that the ministry had been taken over, had been compromised.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, the tension is high here. Not sure where we go from here. It doesn't seem like we really have any legitimate hiding places.
Right. Why are we just on a Muggle street?
Because that's probably getting into areas outside of magic and trying to blend in with Muggles is the best chance you have at actually hiding right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, we're on a Muggle street. We're on Tottenham, the lane or road. I just remember because of the team,
The soccer
Tottenham
team.
Hotspur.
Tottenham Court Road.
There you go.
Yeah. If you were like gun to my head was to say what my favorite Premier League team is, I would have to say Tottenham. Just because it's the Harry Potter reference.
I would say I support Tottenham.
Mm-hmm.
I'm a Harry Kane guy.
Yeah, I know who that is. He plays in the English national team.
Yeah, he's good.
So,
And their coach, I believe their coach is Jose Mourinho, right?
He used to coach for a different team, one of the Spanish teams.
He did. He's bounced around to quite a few. He was with Man United before Tottenham, I think.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Short
stint.
stint.
That sounds right. Is he a short guy?
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. So at this point, Hermione is like, don't worry, guys. I have all your stuff. I packed your most valuable possessions just in case when I went to this wedding. Can we still be is Hermione capable of amazing us still?
It gets harder and harder the longer this series goes on. It's also kind of like, when was she rifling through all their things?
Yeah, like, I think it was last chapter. She said something about like waiting for Ron's underwear to come out of the dryer and like his old jeans.
Yeah, what's going on there? Are we at that point in the friendship?
Yeah, I mean, like, if you can't trust your closest female friends with your dirty underwear, like, who can you trust with it?
I don't know how to argue against that.
She's got that beaded bag. Do we care about the beaded bag?
That seems like that could be a really valuable asset moving forward. Maybe a great place to keep our invisibility cloak.
I thought you were going to say, so naturally, we'll just leave it anywhere.
Well, that's what will happen. Is we'll just set it down next to the invisibility cloak on like a random table in a restaurant.
Well, worst case scenario, you set it down under the invisibility cloak. Now you can't find it. It's
that
invisible.
Would be bad. I hadn't considered that. That is worst case scenario.
I lost all my stuff under my one other stuff.
And now all of said stuff is invisible.
Accio stuff, items. So we're walking along. We get catcalled by some drunken Brits, as one does.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And just for like reference here, how old are Harry, Ron, and Hermione?
Since Harry
specifically Hermione,
they're all 17.
17. Okay.
So like, I mean, it's not great.
Yeah, not as gross as what I had in my head, I guess, with these guys, but still not great.
No,
yeah.
And they're drunk.
Still not legal.
No, I don't know how it works over there, but yeah, agreed. Oh, hey guys, George is here. Hey, buddy. George had some things to say. Rachel had some boxes to look in. Just gotta make sure I get my scissors. You want these? George, don't lick my plate. Come on, man. We're leaving all of this in, obviously, Jeremy. Oh, you got your scissors? You're good? Are you sure? You don't want to hang out? She said hi, Braden. Braden wasn't watching.
I waved.
Oh, okay. I wasn't watching you watching her. Okay, and we're back. 3, 2, 1. We are in a cafe. One of my favorite things is they order 2 cappuccinos, and Ron drinks his. He's like, ugh, gross. What is this? How did they find them?
What?
How did they find them?
Who found who?
Them.
They.
Mm-hmm. Those people.
How did the Death Eaters find?
There's 2 Death Eaters, and they just showed up in the same cafe as
Yeah. I don't actually remember how they find them.
It's not explained. I'm asking you how you think they found them.
I think they found them. Well, first of all, how did they get to this cafe? Did they just literally? Did they walk?
Yes.
They take a cab?
They apparate to Tottenham Court Road and then start walking until they find an alley in which Ron can change. And then they walk until they find a cafe in which Ron can complain about the cappuccino.
So there's got to be some kind of curse or spell or something on Harry, Ron, or Hermione that's almost acting as a tracking spell.
Sure. Why not,
Because I don't really know how else they could know. Because when you can't apparate to the same place someone else is unless you're holding on to them, right?
Right. There's no way to know.
Yeah.
It's incalculable.
Indubitably.
Yeah.
I think, so magic's got to be involved. There's got to be some kind of tracking spell. Curse.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
They end up deciding to go to Grimmauld Place. Was this an obvious choice for you? Why hadn't they gone there sooner?
I don't know if it was an obvious choice because I don't think there are obvious choices anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, they're clearly being watched wherever they go. And at this point, I guess they're just familiarity kicks in. We know how to be here, and we know that it was safe at one time. So, I mean, you probably don't have a lot of familiar options at this point, especially in London.
I guess you can just break into someone's house, a random. But I mean, that's got its downsides.
Maybe you go try to find where the Dursleys are at.
Hey, I know that you thought that you were leaving us forever. We just need to hang out for just a little bit. This is Hermione. You'll like her. She's pretty normal.
This is Ron. You'll need to buy double at the grocery store while he's here.
Can you imagine Harry just going, and go, and Ron and Dudley are shoveling cake into their face on an anime, how they can eat ramen really fast and just rice?
Rice is just flying.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to imagine Harry knocking on their door and Mr. Dursley walking over to the door and just opening it, and Harry's just kind of got the slow, hello.
Hey.
Hey.
Long time no see there, Unky.
Uncle Vernon, my favorite.
Your mustache is looking just great today.
It's very moustache, if I do say so myself.
It's so moustache. So they end up at Grimmauld Place. The last thing I kind of wanted to touch on here in this chapter is Harry has a little bit of a scar vision situation in which he sees Voldemort kind of torturing those Death Eaters that they'd fought earlier, I guess. where do you see this whole scar pain / vision thing going? I'm thinking specifically about Ron kind of flips out at Harry. Like, what'd you see? Tell me what you saw. Like, did you see my parents? Is my family okay? And Harry's like, I can't. It's not a TV that I can just tune in.
Mm-hmm.
Do you foresee there being any friction with that going forward?
Yeah, because I think that at some point, I think it starts to set some expectation and like a hopefulness from people who are trying to figure out where Voldemort's at, what he's doing, that like, it is being viewed as kind of like a Harry's connected to Voldemort in a way that none of us can be. And like you said, it's not like voluntary. It's not like a decision he makes. So like, wonder where he's at, and like tunes in.
Like Psych.
Yeah. So I could see where it could, the pressure could mount up, and especially from some of the other folks in the order, like Lupin, or people who are trying to help.
Because I mean, Harry's always just pulled out random stuff that no one else can do before. And so it's not crazy for them to just expect, like, oh, here's the weird Harry thing he's going to do this book, Miles Beneath the School.
Yeah, but I wonder, too, like, as Voldemort gains power and kind of the anger, like, Voldemort's anger gets more intense over time as he's, like, getting that close to killing Harry and losing him again. Mm-hmm. If like that pain at some point is going to become unbearable. Like, I don't know, the way it was written in this chapter, I feel like it's the worst it's ever been, where he has to like go into the bathroom and basically collapses.
Yeah.
Like I feel like in previous books, it was like, it was painful. It was burning. It definitely got his attention, stopped him in his tracks, but like it's almost incapacitating at this point.
Right.
And so that could be, and I can't remember, does Voldemort know that this happens with Harry?
I mean, it doesn't... It's unclear to us at this point. Does it seem like Voldemort's trying to trick Harry with anything that Harry sees him saying these days? Like he did that one time? He didn't use it for a whole book.
Yeah. I don't think he's trying to trick him just yet, but I feel like that could be a really useful tactic on his end. One, to trick him, but two, to, like, Harry can't function when this stuff happens.
Oh, use it as a weapon.
Yeah.
I mean, I think the implication is that a lot of what Harry's doing is feeling when Voldemort is having a really strong emotion.
Right.
And I doubt that he can fake that. You know what I mean?
Right.
To use it against Harry. Like if he's that mad, he probably really is that mad.
Right. So what I'm getting at is if and when they finally face off, mm-hmm. and Voldemort's anger comes to like its pinnacle, mm-hmm. right? Like is that going to, send that scar into just like unimaginable pain, right. to where, he can't even do anything.
Yeah, and it's the kind of weapon that Harry has no counter for.
Right. It doesn't seem like that's how it will, end. Like that would be a really crummy ending to this story if like, and then they faced off and Voldemort got really, really mad and Harry just like had the worst headache you could imagine.
That'd be like if Joe like just let a third grader write the last chapter. Just go for it, dude. You got it.
Yeah. But it's like, I don't know. It is a concern in between now and when they finally meet. I don't know how much worse it's going to get for Harry to endure these visions and how long that pain is going to linger. And if Voldemort figures out that Harry can tap into that, like how does he use it?
Yeah, that's interesting if he can like intentionally summon those emotions to try to like you said, incapacitate Harry or whatever.
Yeah.
It's kind of interesting. A couple do we cares here. Do we care about the fact that we just destroyed a cafe in the middle of Muggle London? Do we care about the waitress?
Yeah, I'm wondering if there would be any kind of evidence, like, obviously the cops are going to show up when there's something like that going on in a public place.
Yeah.
But how would you even be able to tell what happened?
Yeah, like you know what the results were, but
yeah,
can't really walk through it step by step.
Probably not that worried because it's like, what's the waitress going to say? Well, there was these men in cloaks, and then there was these 3 kids, and they started pointing at each other, and colors started flying, and tables started flipping.
And then I dropped more acid because I was stressed.
And then there I was, standing right next to Jimi Hendrix, and he was playing the Star Spangled Banner.
Mm-hmm. And then I was Jimi Hendrix somehow? It's not clear.
And then next to me, once I was Jimmy Fallon, Jimmy Kimmel, Jimmy Carter.
Jimmy Neutron.
Jimmy Neutron. There's this crazy meeting of Jimmys.
Yeah. Jimmy Stewart. Jimmy Elsner. Jimmy's like sprinkles that you put on your ice cream.
Jimmy Johnson.
Yeah, there you go. Jimmy Johnson, also the race car driver. Jimmy Page.
Jimmer Fredette.
Jimmy from Hoosiers. Chitwood.
They were all there.
They showed up at that pace. The
cloaks just disappeared.
Okay, do we care about Malfoy? Do we care about Malfoy? Not the first time Malfoy is made into a do we care section, I'm sure.
Yeah, I think we do because of the horror on his face that Harry describes when Voldemort's forcing him to torture another human. Because you start to wonder if Malfoy if you'll be able to use him in the end, like that. He's showing that weakness, right? Like he, as evil as we think Malfoy is, he's not on Voldemort's level. Mm-hmm. And so, will there be a point in the end where Malfoy is tasked with like aiding in the killing of Harry, and he just can't do it, right?
Right. No, I mean that makes sense. Because Voldemort underestimates like the basic level of human decency that some people have. I mean, he and Bellatrix don't seem to.
Right.
But I mean, like a classic sociopath move would be to assume everyone else is a sociopath.
I think the people that have been with Voldemort for the longest are the ones who have become the most calloused.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
Draco's a kid.
Yeah, Draco's young enough to where he still has emotion and empathy or some shrivel of it. And
yeah.
Like it people like to think that in certain situations you could do that to another human if you had to. Mm-hmm. And I don't think we're designed to do that to each other, so it's like it stops you in your tracks, and there's no way you can just do that and not think about it. At least, early. If you're Lucius and you've been thinking that way and obeying those commands for that long, like you're just kind of callous to it, I'm sure. But
yeah, Dumbledore has a similar conversation with Draco to that at the end of the 6th book, where Draco's like, "No, I'm going to kill you," and he's like, "Really? Are you?" Like,
yeah,
murdering is not. It's not just like snap your fingers and I murdered someone, Draco.
Right, and you don't just move on from it.
Yeah,
like it's not like, all right, he's out of the way, on to the next one. At least at the stage of life Draco's in, and I think that can be that's a good thing moving forward, that Draco does have this like shock factor going on when he's told to do things by Voldemort. That could be really helpful in the end.
He's not totally lost.
Yes. Yeah. Which is weird because this is the first time in the entire time we've been reading Harry Potter that I've been like, I don't like Draco and I don't want necessarily the best for Draco, but I don't hate him like I did. Mm-hmm. Like I think it's written in a way that it's like you can almost feel bad for him. Like you can almost step back and say he doesn't know what he got himself into. He has no idea. He's a kid.
He was trying to, make his dad proud of him and do what he thought he was supposed to do. And you would have never thought that you'd be in this place in like the third book. You'd be like, oh, that freaking idiot. Stab him in the face. Right? Mitchell.
Yeah. Yeah, and clearly this never did sit in with Mitchell. Because he's read all the books when we had him on that episode.
Yeah. Talk about a sociopath.
I don't know. And maybe in the end, Draco becomes who his dad wanted him to be and ends up like killing Ron or Hermione or something. And that's why Mitch said that. Gotcha. Maybe I'll get back to that place of hating Draco. I don't know.
Chapter 10, Creature's Tale. We've got a couple... The chapter is broken down to a couple kind of sections, which I think is fun. In the beginning, we've got to do our weekly check-in on how do we feel about how Harry feels about Dumbledore.
That is a roller coaster through this book.
On page 177, Harry asks a question that I thought would be good to ask you. Because Harry's thinking about Godric's Hollow. You've got Dumbledore's buried there. You've got Potter's buried there. And Harry says, why hadn't Dumbledore told him? Why hadn't he explained? Had Dumbledore actually cared about Harry at all? Or had Harry been nothing more than a tool to be polished and honed, but not trusted, never confided in? So why didn't Dumbledore tell Harry?
And he's asking why Dumbledore didn't tell him about his family?
About the fact that they both both experienced familial tragedy in Godric's Hollow. About anything about himself to help Harry understand him better.
Well, I think that Dumbledore didn't tell him gosh, I don't know. I really don't know. Because that seems like Dumbledore didn't strike me as someone who really cared at the end of the day what people thought of him. People generally thought highly of him because of the type of guy he was, but I guess I would have thought that Dumbledore would have enough foresight to see that in his passing, a lot of these questions would come up. And a lot of these rumors would come up, and that he would have wanted Harry to have the full backstory coming straight from the source. So it's pretty understandable why Harry would be tormented by these questions. And I'm trying to on the fly here process why Dumbledore would not have shared any of this, especially the piece of losing family in the same place.
Do you think there's an argument to be made that Dumbledore was just sincerely too busy? Whenever he was meeting with Harry, he was like, okay, so this is how you don't die tomorrow. We have to talk about Voldemort's past. This is what a Horcrux is.
Yes, but those are the conversations we read in the text. There's so much time in between. It's just class days.
Off page, yeah. He could write Harry letters. He could have composed a private memoir and given it just to Harry that explains stuff. And give it to him upon his death.
And maybe he does. What did we read last time that he left them?
He left Ron a Deluminator. He left Hermione a book of children's stories written in ancient runes. He left Harry a snitch and the Sword of Gryffindor.
And we think that something's inside the snitch, right?
Yeah, it's not me that knows what we think. It's you. What do you think?
I
Everyone,
don't know. Like
Harry and Hermione think, and Ron think something's inside the snitch. Like a memoir.
Yeah. I don't know. Trying to understand why Dumbledore is the way he is like, I don't think he's written to be an understood character.
Yeah, he's not very humanized.
Yeah, it's almost like he's almost like a godly figure in this story, right? Like there's just some things about him that just like we're not meant to understand.
Yeah, he's like confusingly omniscient.
Yeah. And like even with all this doubt and rumor, I feel like I'm still inclined to believe that he has a purpose in not telling Harry that stuff. Like he probably like maybe he wanted like he needs Harry to get to Godric's Hollow and he didn't know how else to like Godric's Hollow is like what? Because that's where Harry's parents were killed, correct?
Correct.
And so that's not like a place that Harry would probably want to go back to? Or has he said in the past that he would?
Harry?
Yeah.
Harry, I mean, he brings up in this chapter to Hermione that he wants to go back.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to spitball reasons why he wouldn't relate to Harry on that level, and I'm coming up blank.
Yeah, I mean, you'd think it'd be useful, but maybe we'll find something out. A couple of pages later, Harry discovers what's a kind of a sweet letter that was written by his mom originally. Mm-hmm. So I didn't know if you had thoughts on this. What does it mean? Could you parse any deeper meaning from the letter like Harry was trying to? How is it significant, I guess? If it is significant, page 180.
Yeah, I mean, it's got to be significant.
I mean, and it goes without saying that's significant to Harry as a memento.
Right. Dear Padfoot, thank you for Harry's birthday present. It was his favorite by far. 1 year old and already zooming along on a toy broomstick. He looked so pleased with himself. I'm enclosing a picture so you can see. It only rises about 2 feet off the ground, but he nearly killed the cat and he smashed a horrible vase Petunia sent me for Christmas. No complaints there. Of course, James thought it was so funny. Says he's going to be a great Quidditch player, but we've had to pack away all the ornaments and make sure we don't take our eyes off him when he gets going. We had a very quiet birthday tea, just us and old Bathilda, however you say that, who has always been sweet to us and who dotes on Harry. We were so sorry you couldn't come, but the orders got to come first, and Harry's not old enough to know it's his birthday anyway. James is getting a bit frustrated. Shut up here. He tries not to show it, but I can tell. Also, Dumbledore still got his invisibility cloak, so no chance of little excursions. If you could visit, it would cheer him up so much. Wormy was here last weekend. I thought he seemed down, but that was probably the news about the McKinnons. I cried all evening when I heard. Tilda drops in most days. She's a fascinating old thing with the most amazing stories about Dumbledore. I'm not sure he'd be pleased if he knew. I don't know how much to believe, actually, but it seems incredible that Dumbledore...
That Dumbledore what?
That's where it cuts off.
But that Dumbledore what?
Don't know. That's a terrible place to stop reading, Harry. Or that's just where the letter's ripped. Is that where?
Right. So then Harry is looking for the other half. That was my next question. Where is it? Where's the other page?
Dumbledore took it.
Dumbledore took it. Dumbledore was there. He can get in for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Why'd he take it?
He knew Harry would come back here eventually and find it, and he's trying to protect his reputation.
Oh, it goes along with why he didn't tell Harry about such and such connection between them, as he's trying to keep that going.
Yeah. Yeah. It's interesting, the piece about Wormy being sad.
Mm-hmm.
Or being down. He's probably, I don't know how this lines up timeline-wise, but maybe had just become a traitor and was getting ready to let Voldemort know where they were.
I mean, that Harry makes that exact supposition. He's like, maybe this Wormtail realized this was the last time he'd see them alive.
Yeah. Yeah, and so Bagshot drops in most days with amazing stories about Dumbledore, and she's not sure he'd be pleased if he knew. And I don't know how much to believe, actually, because it seems incredible that Dumbledore... I don't read that with, like, a negative tone. With, like, I can't believe Dumbledore's actually a Death Eater.
Can't believe Dumbledore is 4 inches shorter than he's been telling people this whole time.
I can't believe Dumbledore's beard is fake.
I can't believe Dumbledore can dunk.
I can't believe Dumbledore was recruited by Coach K at Duke.
Couldn't you see Dr. J turning into Dumbledore? Like, just the lankiness?
Yeah. Yeah, I can totally see Dumbledore as like an old ABA character.
Yeah.
Like
something out of old school.
Yeah.
He's like a character from NBA Street Volume 2.
He should be.
Yeah. Stretch Armstrong or whatever.
Yeah. The Wizard.
Yeah. And then this chapter is called Creature's Tale, so that's sort of my next question. What's the lead up? How does Creature become significant, as you recall? Why did Harry think, oh, let's get Creature in here to tell a tale?
Creature would have known, because we're in Grimmauld Place, and Creature, well, so they see as they're headed back downstairs, they see on the door RAB, basically, is what they figured out.
Regulus Arcturus Black. Do you think that is RAB from the... Oh, I guess at this point you've read the next 2 chapters, so...
Yeah. And so Creature's been in this house the longest. He's seen the comings and the goings, so he would hopefully have some insider information. And then they all of a sudden kind of it hits Hermione and then Harry and then Ron, kind of in that order, that they actually were probably holding the locket that they needed.
Yeah.
That was the one that was swapped out.
Yep. Tough stuff.
So they know that Creature would have taken that. This is this is an interesting chapter or group of chapters where 2 of the characters that we've hated probably the most through the whole book, we end up having like a small amount of sympathy for.
Yeah, that was one of my questions here was, can Creature be redeemed in your mind?
Yeah, I think so, because when you look at it from Hermione's perspective of like these house elves are just, they live to serve their master. So if their master's evil, if their master is like a bloodthirsty, racist, evil witch or wizard.
Just hypothetically.
Yeah. Like, it doesn't excuse that kind of wrongdoing, but it also gives you're able to see how, like, those, like, the house elves are wired and built to obey every command. They don't know how to do anything else.
Fine dining and breathing.
Yeah, and they thrive on, and the most important thing to them is loyalty. And so, especially when that's built over time, and if said evil people are treating them with some kind of kindness, like, that loyalty runs deep over a long period of time. And so,
yeah, I think that kindness factor is really interesting because my guy Dobby was raised by the Malfoys. I mean, talk about evil, unkind people, but they weren't even a little nice to Dobby. Like, it seems like, given what happens to Creature, it shouldn't have been that hard for them to get him to be, racist like Creature too. But instead, Dobby goes the other way and is like, no, I'm pro Harry Potter because I can see that you guys are jerks to me.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of the question of, like, free will within the elves.
So nature versus nurture.
Yep.
That doesn't really make sense. Come on, don't give me that.
It sounded good.
I know. I'm always just checking to see if you're paying attention. Earlier I said fine dining and breathing. Just a SpongeBob quote. Just tossed it in there.
I didn't catch that.
Yeah.
I should have. I'm a SpongeBob guy.
You go, yeah, and just kept talking. I was like, he got it. He got it. The listeners got it. Chad got it.
Definitely.
So here, what are my questions? How does Creature's story change your perception of him? We already sort of talked about that. What about of Regulus? Because I know you'd thought a lot about Regulus Black.
I had not. So I'm understanding it correctly that at the end of his life, he defected from the Death Eaters and was trying to, like, basically sacrifice himself for the good of the order as kind of paying reparations, I guess, trying to make things right.
Yeah, the implication is that when Creature got back and told him the story of what had happened on the lake, what Voldemort had done to Creature was so reprehensible to him, was that was the event that opened his eyes. Because he must have had, some kind of emotional connection to Creature. I mean, it's a guy he grew up with.
Right.
And he's not a muggle. I mean, there's no reason to be cruel to him just because he's a house elf. But Voldemort made him drink that potion and left him to die and all that stuff. And so it seems like that's kind of was the moment that he was radicalized. And so he knew he needed to put the fake Horcrux back in so Voldemort would never notice.
Yeah. Yeah, I think
it seems like, though, if I may beef.
Yeah, please.
If I may.
Please.
Bwah, 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 bwah.
Beef!
That didn't work great.
Do you want to do it again?
No. Okay. He gets a different locket, puts a note in it that says this isn't the real locket. Voldemort would have known just by looking at it wasn't the real locket. He goes to the lake and goes all the way in and drinks the potion so he can put it in there, right?
Yeah.
Well, he drinks the potion so that he can get the real locket, I guess. And then he puts the fake, and then he has Creature put the fake locket into the basin. I was gonna say, why doesn't he just like nail it to the door of the cave? And he's like, hey, if anybody shows up, just FYI, this isn't the real locket, so don't bother going in and drinking the potion to get the fake one. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, because he indirectly caused Dumbledore's death by forcing them to go all the way through that process.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
To get a fake locket, And you're not really doing yourself any real favors because Voldemort would have known. Voldemort doesn't have to drink the potion. He walks in, he takes one look, he knows it's the wrong locket. So you're only hurting the good guys.
Yeah. I had not thought about it that way.
Well, it's the first time I thought of it.
So even in his, like, quote, sacrifice, like, he kind of screwed him over.
Yeah, and I mean, I think it was... I don't mean to delegitimize his sacrifice because it was... I mean, he had to go and drink the potion to get the real locket out. And that's what the big thing is, drinking that terrible potion and then trying to drink the water and then in theory get you. But it's just that he gave the wrong instructions to Creature. It shouldn't be leave this fake locket in there. It should be take this fake locket back to the door and stick it on there. And that'll be the clue for Dumbledore or whoever comes around figuring out about Horcruxes. You know what I'm saying?
I guess, wouldn't that be, like, presumably Voldemort would return to this place, right? Once he finds out that Regulus is missing. And so he would have found that locket, the fake one, and one, either made another Horcrux.
Sure.
Or two, just takes it with him. You know, no harm, no foul, I guess. But then Dumbledore doesn't know that it's gone.
Yeah. I guess what I'm saying is if Voldemort goes to check on it, whether it's nailed to the door or it's out in the potion, he's going to know it's the fake one. He's the dude that made it in the first place. So all you're doing is costing Voldemort an extra 4 minutes to glide back across that lake and look into the basin, whereas you could be saving someone like Dumbledore having to actually drink it. Does that make sense?
Yeah. It's also kind of just curious that, like, why did he give it to Creature to destroy?
Well, he knew the Creature could escape because he'd already done it before. And so he must have just known that he was going to die as a result of trying to get this locket.
Okay.
And so it's like, I can bring you with me so that I know the locket will get out, and then hopefully you, being an elf, can destroy it because you've got, like, special elf powers or whatever. And the whole thing is that Voldemort wouldn't have assumed that he would have, like, a real connection with Creature. He thought he was just, like, he's Voldemort. He doesn't think people love things. So he didn't know that Regulus had turned against him due to how he treated Creature, because that's not how he thinks people's minds work. So he never suspected it.
I guess where I end up is, if Regulus was truly trying to help the cause, how do you not just tell Creature to take it straight to Dumbledore?
Oh, that's true. That's good.
Like, I mean, because to your point...
If you're thinking it through, that's the move.
Yeah, because, I mean, to your point, like, regardless of your sacrifice, whoever is coming to find the fake locket is now going to risk their lives.
Unless they happen to bring an elf.
Right. Yeah, or at bare minimum, you know, leave some kind of clue that, like, hey, you're going to need Dobby.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or, you know.
Must be this short to ride the roller coaster.
Right.
That's so true. Think about how much sooner Dumbledore could have been on a Horcrux hunt if Regulus had just, like, written him a letter instead of sticking it in the locket.
That's what I mean. Like, are we 100% certain that Regulus truly was, like, fully on board?
I mean, I'm not saying he stopped being racist.
Yeah.
All we know, or all we're led to believe, is that he saw how Creature was treated. He wrote that note. And, I mean, he's in favor of Voldemort dying, if for nothing else than how he treated Creature. So, I mean, that's all we can really know about his motivation.
Yeah. Just seems like his plan wasn't real well thought out. I appreciate the sacrifice. It's noble.
Yeah, I mean, I think he was like 18.
Regulus?
Yeah, I think this is like right around when he graduated Hogwarts. He was real young.
Oh. Here I have it pictured in my head that he's like in his 50s or something.
Here, let me Google it. At what age did Regulus Black die? He was definitely young. If he was in his 50s, he'd still be alive. He was killed in 1979 after acquiring the locket. Yeah, he was 18.
Wow. Okay. I had not put that timeline together.
Mm-hmm. So there you go. We sort of touched on my other questions about creature being redeemable, how this makes us look at elves in general.
Yeah.
A couple little do we cares. Do we care about like the posters and stuff in Sirius's room?
No, but it added some comic relief, I guess.
A little bit of levity.
Yeah.
Do we care about Dumbledore having Harry's dad's invisibility cloak, according to that note?
Yes. Because what would he have been doing with it while he had it? And
cloaking.
Yeah, just cloaking around. I don't know. It just doesn't help the rumor mill as far as the mysterious life of Dumbledore, the pieces of his life that we don't know about yet.
Yeah, I mean, he seems to be going to great lengths to conceal whatever from Harry.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, last one. Do we care about Hermione seeming to not want to go to Godric's Hollow, or Hermione seems to think it's a bad idea? Sort of pushes Harry away from it. Does that make you think we definitely are or definitely are not going there?
I think we definitely are. I think at this point, that letter from his mom, I think that sent him over the edge. Harry, I mean.
Yeah. He's like, he can't resist.
Yeah, he's like, we're going.
Okay, fair enough. Chapter 11, The Bribe. An interestingly titled chapter. Because it's certainly not what the majority of the chapter is about.
Yeah.
I think we can agree. This is the chapter where Lupin shows up.
Yes.
So Lupin pops by. What is it that Lupin said that surprised you or had the biggest impact on you in terms of like his news about what's been happening in the wizarding world?
So you're excluding the pregnancy news.
Yes. Yep.
I'm trying to remember what all he informed us of.
Yeah, I'll try to run you through it a little bit. So the ministry's fallen, which means that pretty much anyone that a lot of the ministry are Death Eaters now because Death Eaters can just do whatever they want. Harry is wanted for questioning about the death of Albus Dumbledore.
Yeah, I think probably just because it's relevant and timely. I think how one of the first tactics of the Death Eaters was to take over the media.
Yeah,
and just how like important that is.
Because the Daily Prophet's just been like a side thing that we've laughed at for 6 books.
Right, but it really is like the source of information for
Yeah.
most of the wizarding world. Like you don't hear about like competing newspapers or media platforms. So like, you know, it's kind of that whole weird dystopian idea of like, you know, a dictatorship or some sort of evil regime taking over media and then just like fear mongering, right? Just like controlling people by fear and misinformation. And I don't know, it's just interesting that like the JKR wrote that in. I think that's kind of a nod to, I don't know.
It's prescient.
Yeah, I don't have the words for it.
I'm going to read a paragraph from page 208 while you think of the words for it.
Okay.
So they're talking about how much has changed in the ministry's policies. Lupin says, naturally, many people have deduced what has happened. There's been such a dramatic change in ministry policy in the last few days, and many are whispering that Voldemort must be behind it. However, that is the point. They whisper. They daren't confide in each other, not knowing whom to trust. They are scared to speak out, in case their suspicions are true and their families are targeted. Yes, right. Voldemort is playing a very clever game. Declaring himself minister might have provoked open rebellion. Remaining masked has created confusion, uncertainty, and fear.
Yeah, and like I said, I think I know JKR didn't write this book in this year, but it's pretty relevant, and I think it's kind of it's almost like a commentary on government and media and power, right? And so I don't know. Maybe if I'd have read this book as a kid, I wouldn't have ever even considered that like tie to real life. But I just felt, I don't know. That's what stuck out to me, is that like when evil takes over, that's the first place they go, is how do you truly control people? And it's always by fear. And how do you instill fear? You lie and spread rumor and misinformation and he said, she said. And like, I think you spread cancel culture, right? That we're talking about here. Like the idea that if you speak up or say something out of line, like you could be targeted.
Yeah. I mean,
fired.
I think it's different. I think being fired is one thing. I mean, Lupin's saying literally targeted, like by the Gestapo, like by the murder police.
Right.
So, yeah, I mean, it's not perfectly analogous, but yeah, I see what you're saying. Thank you. Thanks, George. Brought me some water.
Perfect.
Yeah, it's apt for sure.
Yeah.
There's something else I was going to say. Oh, like, because you said, it wasn't written now, but I think that, or I hope that for people that did read it, like in middle school and high school, like me, it just sort of, like, I've been mistrustful of the Daily Prophet since I read this, you know what I mean? And the Daily Prophet is an analog for, mass media. And so there's a certain amount of, not necessarily not trusting anything, but, check your sources and like try to read behind the bias of like what's being said. Yeah. Because everything has some bias, right? I mean, like, absolutely. No matter how accurate you're trying to be, like there's bias one way or another. But there's a difference between like having some implicit bias and like actively trying to spread misinformation, which I would definitely say certain news networks have been doing over the last 10 years. I mean, I have strong thoughts on, I don't know if your grandfather, like my grandfather, like in the last 5 years of his life was driven to, madness by certain cable news channels that are just like, are pumping that stuff into you day in, day out. Like we've seen the effects of this.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think it's, like we've discussed before, like, I don't think it's I don't even think it's one side of the aisle or the other, like in America at least. And I'm sure it's not just America that's affected by this, but like when like I think I was listening to a podcast about it the other day. Like I think there's six major news networks in the US. That's it. And like when you think about those, even though there's probably only like three that people truly tune into like day in and day out, right? And so like that's an enormous amount of power that when you are the go-to, like where people flip on their TV to know what's going on around them, like you control a certain portion of the way they think and the way they make decisions.
Because you're affecting how they view what they think is a real representation of the world.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. And so I don't know. We're getting, on a rabbit hole here, but I think that's what it's pretty cool. I think that JKR kind of like writes that into a fictional story about magic right here about like, hey, this is what happens when evil takes over. This is where they'll go first to sow fear and uncertainty and confusion into the public.
And she was absolutely right. Yeah. And it played out 10 years later. Mm-hmm. So I agree with that. Yeah. And she does it succinctly. I mean, it's, like you're saying, I can't quite put the words to it, like this mistrustfulness of the media and like the control by fear. And she sows that within you in a couple pages. She's like, gets you from you weren't thinking about it at all to now you feel exactly this way about it.
Yeah.
Without so many words.
Do you mean when you say played out 10 years later, like you see how like misinformation is just rampant in today's culture?
Yeah. Like when this came out in 2007 and then, I mean, like, I guess, to put all my cards on the table, like after the 2016 election, no administration has been as closely tied to one news network as the Trump administration and Fox News. Like, I mean, that's the whole thing is like how much like Trump watched Fox like on a daily basis and would just like tweet hundreds of times a day, like specific quotes and stuff like that from Fox. And like that was how he saw, I mean, and it was like a self-fulfilling prophecy. Like that was how he saw the world. And so he like continued to try to, move in that, I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I would agree that he's probably the most like outspokenly tied to a news network, but I don't know if I would agree that he's like in general an administration that's been the most tied to a single network. I mean, like,
interesting.
It's pretty like black or white. If it's a Republican, it's Fox News. If it's a Democrat, it's CNN. So,
well, it used to be MSNBC was what they would say was the opposite of Fox News 10 years. Like when it was Obama, it was like, oh, I'm not going to watch that liberal crap. Like, and then it changed to CNN. But I mean, Trump was like actively good friends with like the people that ran Fox News. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I mean, and maybe those stories were out there about Obama, and I just wasn't as politically engaged. I didn't know about it, but
yeah.
So anyway, I'm not a political scientist. Like, I'm not certainly an expert. That's just kind of my interpretation of what I've been seeing going on. So anyway, so we've got all that stuff. The very next page, Lupin's like, oh yeah, plus there's a thing where you have to register if you're a Muggle born or not.
Yeah.
Which, that's not so much predictive as a very explicit callback.
Yeah. Yeah, this is all very like I don't know. I don't know how to describe it. JKR's writing in this chapter is very historical and political, and is allegorical the right word?
Yeah, I mean, I think it gets to the point where it's not even like trying to be allegory. It's just like, and then we did a Holocaust again. Like, it's just like, let's not, we're not even mincing words about what this is.
Right.
So, yeah, I mean, the books keep getting darker.
Yeah.
Talk about darkness.
Which I guess I, in a weird way, appreciate that that she didn't just take the easy way out. And I think we've talked about this before in previous books, but when you're writing a children's series, I mean, that's what you're expected to do, right? And I'm sure that like Harry will come out on top and it will end like a happy story somehow, but
okay. He's sure, ladies and gents, he's sure Harry's going to come out on top.
I'll rephrase. I'm sure that Voldemort doesn't win.
You're sure?
He maybe he doesn't completely lose, but to me, there's no way this series ends where it's like, and then Voldemort cut Harry's throat. The end.
Okay. I'm just in favor of you making strong, definitive statements. So.
Yeah.
All right.
I gave you one. There you go.
No, I appreciate it. A couple other things that Lupin does specifically mention. I mean, there's a lot of Harry and Ron and Hermione being like, he did what? Like, Voldemort said who? But we're kind of skipping over that stuff. It's now mandatory to attend Hogwarts for every student. Had you ever considered the idea of wizard homeschooling before?
I hadn't. And is this saying like, because I think I've asked about this before, if Hogwarts is like the only wizarding school for kids in like Europe, or not Europe, but Britain, right?
Yeah, it is in Britain.
Okay. Which is kind of crazy because Britain isn't necessarily small, right?
I mean, yeah.
Like,
sure.
How far could somebody live away from Hogwarts and have to travel there? Like, I guess it's no different than like going to college across the country, but
yeah, it's a boarding school.
Yeah.
So you just got to get to London and get on the train.
Yeah. So yeah, I had not considered homeschool. I had not considered the idea of like maybe there being other subsidiary schools that, like maybe you can't get into Hogwarts, but you could go to this like junior college type thing.
Go to Hogwarts Southeast.
Yeah, there you go. Hogwarts Polytechnic.
Yeah. You like, I'm trying to imagine like an IUPUI Hogwarts like Beaubaton situation.
Yeah.
Like Hogbaton.
Hogbaton.
And that's like
Bobawarts.
Yeah. Bobawarts.
Which is also a Star Wars character.
I'm sure. But that kind of goes to the same thing as, let's step 1, control the media. Step 2, you start controlling education. All right, this is what everyone is going to learn. It's mandatory to learn this and exactly this. And like just start taking a heavier hand and like more active approach to that stuff.
And I think that's more commentary, right? Like start with the media, move to education. So I don't know. It's fascinating.
Yeah, it is. It's really interesting. And then we get to the personal stuff. So what did you, I know I'm going a little more broad here for no particular reason, but Lupin and Tonks are pregnant. That's fun, right?
Just drop that little bomb on us.
Yeah. And
it's not happy.
Unrelated, Lupin wants to go have fun on a mission with Harry, Ron, Hermione.
So I'm going to be honest. I listened to the end of this chapter about an hour before we started recording, and I was so confused by Harry's response to this.
Okay. So you thought what Lupin was offering was pretty reasonable.
I didn't like it. Don't get me wrong. Like, I didn't like it, and I saw Harry's initial point of like, hey, man, like, I think you should probably stay home and be a dad. But then, like, how aggressive and angry he got about it.
Yeah.
And, like, calling him a coward.
Yeah.
Which I guess, full circle hindsight, like, maybe Harry was just trying to, like, this is the only way I could get him to actually do it.
Yeah.
And that's fine. But, yeah, in the moment when it was happening, I was like, whoa, dude. Take it easy.
I mean, Harry says after he leaves, I know I shouldn't have called him a coward, but he's acting like one. So you're right that Harry like realizes I mean, they're in an argument. You say things you regret, kind of thing. Like,
yeah,
you use I guess hyperbole is more appropriate.
Yeah.
Because he's like, oh, look at me, I'm Lupin. I'm gonna run around and have fun with James and his kid. Like,
yeah.
Where do you come down on Lupin's argument? Lupin says, I made a grave mistake in marrying Tonks. I did it against my judgment, and I've regretted it very much ever since. Is that an argument that you can respect?
No. No, just because his whole argument is that, like, by marrying Tonks, have made her an outcast because now she's going to have a werewolf baby, right?
Maybe.
That's kind of where he's coming from, but potentially.
She might have a werewolf baby because werewolves don't have kids a lot. Because who marries a werewolf?
Right. But Tonks knew this about him, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, like, that argument has no traction. I do think that's a cowardice thing to say. I think Harry's justified in that comment. Mm-hmm. I understand Lupin, his fear in it, and, like, I understand his concern, but, like, if you love Tonks and you wanted to marry Tonks and you wanted to spend the rest of your life with Tonks, and so, like, I understand being concerned about bringing another werewolf into the world, but, like, I don't know, this gets on we could get into a whole nother, like, philosophical.
You have something to tell me?
Just like views on marriage and childbearing that, like, we can save that for
taking responsibility for your actions kind of thing.
Yeah. This probably isn't the medium for that kind of discussion.
Tune into Flabbergasted, a different podcast. Could Lupin be helpful on their journey?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and it would be tempting. Like, I really thought Harry was going to tell him, like, you know what? Actually, I could really use some protection. That'd be great. And I can't tell, like, I couldn't tell if Harry's anger in this was driven so far over the top because of feeling, like, alone and, like, no, man, like, it sucks growing up without a dad. So I think you should go home and be a dad to this werewolf baby.
Yeah, I think that's a lot of it.
Yeah. And so, I don't know, as we talk through this, maybe I'm less confused by Harry's response, but it seems like, heat of the moment argument, both of them kind of handled things really poorly in terms of communicating their feelings. As men do, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because they're both justified in their, like, fear and concern.
Yeah, it's not like Lupin is lying about how he feels. Like, he's making it clear. He's like, I'm scared about bringing a werewolf baby into the world.
Right. And Harry is correct in pointing out cowardice, that, like, just because you're scared doesn't mean you walk out on them.
Yeah.
I guess in the moment when I was listening to this, I wasn't viewing Lupin coming along with them as him walking out on them.
Yeah.
But I think when you step back and think about what Lupin would be signing on for, like, he's more than likely going to die, or at least put his life in danger for sure.
Yeah.
And so I'm sure that's where Harry's coming from, is like, no, man, like, I'm not going to invite you along to then basically write the next chapter of Tonks and your baby's life of her raising the baby alone. Like, you need to go home.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I've never seen it as, like, him purposely trying to die, but, like, he's purposely, like, finding something to do. Oh, what, you guys are gonna go do a thing? Yeah, I'll go do the thing. I'll go do whatever so that I'm not here.
Yeah, and I don't think it's purposely trying to die. I think it's just, like, that's implied in this kind of mission.
Yeah, you have
like,
to.
We're gonna
eyes wide open.
We're gonna get to Voldemort, right? Like, that's the goal here.
Yeah.
And at that point, like, you don't know who's coming out of that alive.
One does not simply get to Voldemort.
Yeah. So, do I think Harry laid it on a little harsh in the moment? Yeah, but I don't know. You think through like what Harry's been through without a dad. I think you can see where he's coming from, where that emotion stems.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think anyone would argue that he made his point particularly eloquently.
Sure.
Like he's 17, right? I mean, that's the only way he knows how to emote is yellingly. He's Harry Potter.
Yeah.
So.
I'm Harry Potter.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did you fight Voldemort? I do. I fight Voldemort all the time without a dad. So that's pretty much it.
Do you have a scar on your forehead? Does it hurt real bad?
It's like, frickin' Thoron! God! Could be such a pumpkin head!
Oh, boy.
Oh, boy.
Hey, boy.
And then there's Rita Skeeter's article about her book about Dumbledore. Love to see a Rita Skeeter book about Dumbledore. Who doesn't?
Love to see Rita Skeeter publications, period.
10 out of 10.
Glad she's a journalist.
Would read. Does she say what it's called? Her book? No, she doesn't. I know what it's called, but I'm not going to tell you. I want you to find out later. So, like, it's just so interesting. Like, chapter after chapter, got to get in a little Harry being confused about Dumbledore's past.
Yeah.
Like, let's not go a whole chapter without that. I wonder what this is leading to. Like a time turner situation, a little bit of pensive action.
Just keep waiting for the ghost of Dumbledore to show up and just like
Dumble Ghost.
Yeah.
Ooh, Harry.
It's not true.
I should have told you everything.
I can dunk.
My beard is fake. That's funny.
I'm actually good friends with Julius Erving.
And then you get past that, and you're not thinking about Creature at all. You've forgotten about the locket, right?
Yep.
Did she get you? She rope-a-doped you successfully?
She did.
Yeah.
She absolutely did.
You're like,
you get a crack, a
Dumbledore.
Jim Dale crack. And yeah. Oh, hey, Coop.
What a good boy.
Up.
So we'll just go for some yes or no questions here. Do you know where the locket went after Mundungus had it?
I think it was sold to, what's her name?
What's her name? Describe her. Say the words about her.
She's very toad-like.
Him.
Yes, gosh, dang it.
She's played by Imelda Staunton.
This is bad.
Things at Hogwarts are far worse than I'd feared.
Yes, I know I know. I'm blanking.
Bombarda Maxima.
This is embarrassing. Cooper, you're distracting me.
Detention, Mr. Potter.
Yeah. The him was enough. I know exactly.
I mean, it says in there that she was short, had a bow on top of her head, and was toad-like.
I know. I know exactly who it is. The name is just, it's not there. It's fuzzy. It's like I'm trying to it's like underneath a scratch off on like a lottery ticket, and I can't scratch it off. It's
scratch it. Just grab your copy of Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix that you have at hand, as one does. The I must not tell lies lady?
Yes.
I'm so sorry, Minerva, but it sounded as though you were questioning what I do in my classroom. This is good. This is the good stuff. This is what they tune in for. None of this is being cut. Are you Googling it? Toad Like Witch, Imelda Staunton.
I'm going to freak out when I finally read this name.
Wait, what are you doing on your phone? Googling it?
Yeah.
Okay. What are you typing in? We want to know. The inquiring
I had
minds want
typed
to know.
in, I must not tell lies.
Okay, that should work.
And none of these pages say her name without me clicking into them.
It's so obvious what her name is.
Dolores freaking Umbridge. Kill me.
Yay! Yeah, I remembered Umbridge's name. I remembered Umbridge's name too. So Umbridge is back in business. Just when you thought you were out of thinking about Umbridge, she pulls you back in.
I thought that she was like killed by the centaurs.
No, in the last chapter of that book, it talks about how because Ron is in the hospital wing with her, and Ron starts making like hoof noises, like, and she like, oh, what? Oh, that's the only thing that like gets her to react. And then she tries to leave the school, and the kids all chase her, like throwing stuff at her.
Yeah, and I remember all that. I guess what I was getting at is I was hoping the centaurs would just finish her off. Yeah. But.
So where are we going with that? We're gonna see her? We're gonna go to her house? We're gonna burgle her? What I wouldn't give for this to be like a Harry Potter Ocean's 11 chapter, or like an Italian Job. It's just like the heist.
A Harry Potter Italian Job. I like that idea a lot. Yeah. If we can get Mark Wahlberg in this story somehow, you've got my attention.
Yeah. Harry, Ron, and Hermione driving Mini Coopers, like in Umbridge's house, and Ron is just smashing into every wall, like just whipping the steering wheel for no reason. They have to get him like a bumper car instead.
I love it.
Yeah.
This is great.
So that'll be good. Is that what you think's going to happen? They're going to try to go steal it from her house?
Yeah, I think they go find her for sure.
Describe Umbridge's house.
It's very cold. It's like a museum. And are you hearing that little like?
Yeah, I was going to ask you if you had some weird feedback.
Yeah.
Just FYI, I haven't given this episode, obviously the last episode, to Jeremy. He's going to lose it. You moving your mic around, going, mic sounds.
Oh,
mic sounds.
Yeah.
I was like, Braden's comfortable. I don't care. It'll be funny to see Jeremy's reaction.
Yeah.
It's really funny.
Yeah, I need to come up with some kind of table idea here.
Uh-oh. Do you not have a boom?
I do. Yeah. I just don't have there's no obvious place to hook that onto, at least in here.
Okay, I'm going to mute you here in a second, see if that helps.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it's on your side because I don't hear it when I have you muted.
Okay.
It just started too.
I know. Wonder if it was my phone.
Was it ringing?
No.
Huh. I don't know. I mean, my phone's always here.
I mean, I just picked it up and set it a little farther away from me, and now it's gone.
Oh, maybe. Could be interference. So we got a cold museum-like house full of black and white cats.
Yes.
Okay. She sleeps in a bed made for large American Girl dolls.
Yeah, exactly. She you open her cabinets and all of her cups and plates are all the exact same color.
Yeah.
Everything is this grayish, just this light gray.
Yeah. Does she have a closet that's full of just the same outfit?
Yes. Yeah.
Like a cartoon character.
Yep.
Well, I'm excited to see that with you, to travel to that place. It'll be a special time. Unfortunately, we didn't get, because of my technical difficulties, actually, because of moving, didn't get to have time to do any howls. But we have a couple in the bank right now, and we'd love to get more. So please call in. What is it? 800-588-2300? 800-588-2300.
2300 Empire today.
No, do you know it though?
978-768-8370.
978 Potter 0. Howl on in. Let us know what you think about the allegorical nature of truth and fiction in media, or the plausibility of Dumbledore being an ABA star, like pre 3-point line.
For sure.
Yeah, Dumbledore, like he was a proto stretch 5. But too skinny to bang in the post, you know?
Yeah.
Just let us know what you're thinking about. If you could give us like a cast of the British job or whatever. I don't know what you'd call it. The wizard job.
The Hogwarts job.
Yeah. I mean, like, you would still cast Mark Wahlberg as Harry. But besides that, you can do whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
Could you imagine? Like, they just try to make Mark Wahlberg look like 18-year-old Harry.
He's got a scar.
And he's just ripped.
Doesn't he wear like a weird hat in that movie? I'm picturing him wearing like a British orphan boy hat.
I don't think so. Maybe in parts, but not for most of it, I don't think. So who's Ron? Who plays Ron in the Hogwarts job?
Ed Sheeran. Why?
That couldn't have been better. I have no like suggestions or additions. That's perfect.
I looked up Italian Job Mark Wahlberg, and most of the pictures are of him actively holding a basketball. There's a basketball.
Oh yeah,
scene?
when they're planning, isn't it when they're planning the heist? He's like telling them the plan as he's shooting a basketball.
I don't know. I've only seen this movie once.
Okay, I might be mixing that up with another one, but
I mean, he's definitely holding a basketball. So you're probably right. And then there's this other guy that I associate with flirting a lot with Donna from that 70s show, in like the later seasons of that 70s show. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, the computer nerd from the movie. Yeah.
So yeah, that's the kind of content that you can make us talk about by howling in. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram. Start up a Discord, maybe a Reddit. Have we ever checked Reddit to see if we have a presence?
You know, we haven't.
We shouldn't, probably.
Yeah, Reddit's an interesting place.
There's a couple Reddits I follow, but they're pretty explicitly like, how do I get the best deals on Nintendo Switch games? And that has a pretty tame population.
Yeah, that's a pretty specific place.
Yeah. But we appreciate you guys listening, subscribing, unsubscribing, resubscribing, rating us 5 stars, 5 stars. Really helps. Any words of wisdom to take us out with here, braidface_585? No, we have no thanks. Thank you to who provided us content today. Rachel and George came in here twice.
Yeah.
Thank you to Hannah for helping paint this room white so it's not yellow.
It's cream.
It's okay. It over the video. It just looks white.
It doesn't matter what you think it looks like, Rogge. It's cream.
That's fine. It doesn't matter what I think it looks like.
Thank you to Plumber that's going to get back to Rogge and Rachel.
Yeah.
And get some water issues fixed.
There's a plumber that we've used before he's a guy from our church. So it's kind of a one-man operation. We called him. He was going to come yesterday. A tree fell on his house.
Hate when that happens.
Unfortunate. to say the least.
Yeah.
So it's rough stuff, but we'll make it through. Thank you, Jeremy and Jessica.
Bye.
Wait, can you run that one by me again?
Huh?
No, do it again. I couldn't hear it.
Bye.